Hello everybody, welcome back to the stream. Good to see you all. Again, we're back. We're going to be doing some, well, we're getting the playtest ready still, the build. I actually spent most of yesterday working on the Steam page for the game, so I'll be able to start advertising that Steam page as soon as it's approved by Valve. So that's great. And then once the Steam page is up and the playtest build is ready to go, I can start getting that distributed. So we're getting very close to having the game in your hands, so you can tell me how bad it is. But before we get into what we're working on today, I want to remind everyone that Gunforged is available for purchase. It's a 2D roguelite shooter, so if you're interested in those kinds of games, you'll probably like this one. It's a great way to support me, and I also have my Udemy courses, the most recent of which is the co-op online multiplayer course. This teaches you all the high-level networking tools in Godot to make cooperative online multiplayer games. So if you're interested in that, that's linked below. So check out the description. Those are all the ways that you can support my work. And I appreciate everyone who's already bought the course. I very much appreciate that. Alrighty, so I think what I'm going to start doing is putting together the main menu scene in Godot. This is the beginnings of a main menu. I still have a lot of work to do on it, obviously, but we'll try to get a very bare bones main menu in place at least, just to start getting that in. And what else? I think that's basically it. We may take a detour depending on how the menu goes and do another card or something, but yeah, we'll see. We will see what we see. But anyway, hello, A the Ant, welcome back. Ben, good to see you. Welcome, welcome. Hello, Sam Studio, welcome back. Love your channel, busy making my game. Hoping to one day send it to you. Awesome. The stream has started. Yeah, the intro, I usually just let the intro run for like 5 minutes or so to let people get the YouTube notifications and all that stuff so people can come in. Hello, Andrew, welcome back. Good to see you. Cinema Meep, welcome back. Hello, Artem, good to see you again. When the menu is the main. Good morning, Cody. Welcome, welcome. All right, let's just start doing this right now. Other node, canvas layer, main menu, scenes, UI. We'll create a new folder for it. Main menu, boom, done. Add margin container. Make this a full rect. Can you tell that I've done this many times before? All right, so now we need to export these things. Oh, this is going to be interesting. So let's do this. Get rid of that. Let's grab this. I have no idea what this button is going to be, so I'm just going to call this unknown button. We'll lock that. Actually, not lock it. I do want to just fill in these spots here. And I also need to outline it, so that's going to have to happen. Fill that in. We might as well make this a contiguous piece. There. Okay, fill that in. Fill this in. Oh, goodness gracious. There we go. That will be covered by the outline, so I don't need to worry about that. And then here, I think we're good. All right, we'll see what happens when I outline this. Cool, that works. Okay, we'll lock that. And then here, this is gonna be like the start button. Oops, I shouldn't have renamed that. Put that back to layer 2. This, we're gonna get rid of that. Got to do the same thing here now. I think a lot of this stuff would be covered by the outline, but I might as well just fill it in. Might be good, actually. Okay. I think that's all right. Export the start button. Export the unknown button. And then I should probably take this. And we'll just go ahead and outline that as well. And then I'm going to fill in, well, maybe I don't need to fill in anything here. I don't think I do. Okay, let's see what we got going on here. Hello, Felitao, welcome back. Do your Udemy courses work with Godot 4.4? Yes, for the most part, yes. The only difference, well, so the C# course is up to date for 4.4. I mean, it's made for 4.3 or 4.2, but all the major changes, or there have been no major changes since the C# course was published in 4.4, and the multiplayer course is in 4.4, so that's 100% up to date. And the Survivors course it was made for the 4.0 version. The only major difference is the tile map system changed. But the tile map is not a huge portion of that course, and you can still use the deprecated tile map, which is what's used in that course. So yeah, broadly speaking, yes, they're all compatible. Hello, Pedro. Welcome, welcome. Good morning, Adam. Always good to see you. Welcome back. Just wanted to know, do you still do code review, and how complete should the game be to be reviewed? Yes, I'm still doing the code reviews. I haven't done one in a couple weeks, but I'm going to do another one soon. I'm editing my devlog for the GMTK Jam 2025 right now, and then after that's done, I'll be able to go back to making the code review videos. But yeah, how complete should the game be? It can be in any state of completion whatsoever. So feel free to submit it. Me be man, thank you so much for the 1,000. I don't know what that currency is, but thank you for the 1,000 currency. Very much appreciate that. Very generous. Thank you, thank you. And welcome to the stream. What do I want to do here? I almost wonder if this shouldn't be a margin container. This almost should just be a control. Maybe it should be a margin container. Okay, let's add a clickable control here, and then we'll drag in assets, UI, main menu. This is the most UI assets I've ever had in a game, which is understandable because a lot of this game is basically just purely UI. Anyway. We'll get this roughly. I'm not going to match the mock-up exactly, but we'll get it roughly in place. Actually, change that type to a reference rect. Okay, so now I can kind of see what's going on in here. So I'll put this over here. All right. This is 43 by 71. Okay, so this is the unknown. I still have no idea what this is going to be. Maybe I shouldn't have drawn it without knowing what it's going to be, but it's okay. All right, so I'm just getting all this stuff set up. Nothing too exciting happening here. I can probably run this and see. Hello, Neozoid. You're so messed up. Why are you messed up? That's unfortunate. Welcome back, though. I have a question, as always. Sure. 1 second. For example, I use created resource class for storing rarity, common, uncommon, and their weight for lootable or loot table and some methods. Let's say I want to manipulate the weight during runtime. Level up grants more uncommon items, for example. Would it be safe to keep this multiplication in the resource, or a multiplier? So it's a multiplier for weight. Would it be safe to keep this multiplication in resource, or better to use separate instance and only pull data from the resource? I mean, it depends on... So is the multiplier changing as you level up? Because if the what I generally do for resources is the data in the resource generally remains static. So it's data that really isn't going to change. In the case of my game, you know, the display name is not going to change, the card art is not going to change, the dimensions of the card are not going to change. You know, things like that. The tags of the card are not going to change. But if there's something like a rarity or like a weight in a loot table, I might define an initial weight in the resource. But if that weight needs to be modified, I do that with logic. I do that in a separate system. So typically what I do is I take my loot table weight from the resource, I populate that in the loot table, and then any modifications that need to be done in terms of the weighting of the items happens against that loot table and not on the resource, if that makes sense. So hopefully that answers your question. Good morning, Ariane. Welcome back. I Google it. That's the Indian rupee. I gotcha. Very nice. Hello, Emerson. Welcome. Thanks for looking that up for me, Adam. I am woefully undereducated in terms of the world's currencies. That's okay. Alrighty, so this is looking okay. So if once I get some trees in here and maybe some other elements on the screen, I think that might look okay. But we're basically just trying to get the functionality in place right now. Ignore. Basically just trying to get the functionality in place. Let's lock all these so I don't accidentally move them. Okay, so now let me think. Oh, I have a screen rect. Very nice. So what I can do here, put a screen rect here, set that to full screen, and then do this. Turn that alpha down, and then the mouse to ignore. Cool, and then I think what I can do is I can add a script here. Okay, scripts, UI, new folder, main menu. Cool. Create. Oh, that might be a problem, but it's all right, whatever, it's fine. Okay, public override void ready. Visual utilities dot fade in. We need the reference to the screen rect. Node private screen rect. Screen rect. Let's do this over 0 delay, 1, maybe a 2-second time. No, probably 1 is fine. Let's see what happens. Playtest when? I'm working on it. I'm working on it. It's coming soon, hopefully. Okay, cool. Got it. Thanks. Just want to understand the purpose and best practices of uses for resource. Yeah, your approach sounds very logical. Good. Yeah. I mean, I think, you know, people may have disagreements on that. People may say, like, it's fine to store data in resources themselves. And it's like, I think it's situational. I think you can't go wrong with starting with treating resources as just static data, data that doesn't change data that doesn't change at runtime. Oh, and by the way, welcome to the stream, Monkey Software. Welcome back, I should say. Playtest when? Good morning, Chris. Sorry I've been away. What's new in the project? Oh, there's a lot going on. I've got a name for the game. The Steam page is in Valve approval process right now, so I might have a Steam page for you all to wishlist soon. Just trying to get the build situated to a point where it's a respectable playtest, and then we'll figure out how to distribute the playtest soon. And there's been a couple of new cards and balance tweaks and stuff. I don't think you've missed anything major. The one thing that I'm considering doing, which I will mention again so I can get opinions on it from anyone that's here. So in the game, the alchemy system is a big deal, right? So what I'm thinking about doing is I'm thinking about making the alchemy system something that's always accessible. So this alchemy screen here where you can mix and match cards to get different abilities output, I'm thinking about adding this whole thing as a tab here that you can open at any time that you want. And you can alchemize cards whenever you want. And then turning these alchemy, like this alchemy node that I just cleared, or like this alchemy here, turning that into just a buff, which increases the size of your alchemy board. So that's something I'm considering doing. Probably will not be, or it won't be something that's going to be included in this playtest that I'm working towards, but perhaps a follow-up playtest, I will include that as a permanent thing that you can access always. And the reason why I want to do that for a couple of the reason I want to do that is for a couple of reasons. One, I think that the alchemy system is like really the hook of the game, and I would hate to make the main selling point of the game something that you have to actually, you can only interact with sometimes based on where you travel on the map. So I want to lean into that hook more. And also, I think that that may just end up being more fun, where the cards take on a stronger identity as more like reagents, where the cards by themselves are a little bit simpler, but you create more complex combinations by leveraging the alchemy system. So anyway, that's what I'm thinking about doing. Any thoughts on any of that? And yeah, I think this is right, Chris, but you know, there would be balance adjustments made in conjunction with that. To like, I wouldn't necessarily be concerned so much with the balance, but it's something to play test. How's the Valve approval process? Do you have to send it to them, a build of the game? You do have to get your build approved, but you can, there's a separate process for the Steam store page approval and the build approval. So you can have a Steam page up before you even have a build. And that's the situation that I'm in, but they both need to be approved separately. And I'm pretty sure the approval process is largely automatic, but maybe there's a human that looks at it. I don't know. This is the menu as you cannot see it yet. Yeah. The alchemy system is great. To feed that feature, though, you need to hand out cards by a lot, especially because cards are also the resource you need to respawn. Right. So that may need to change as well. And that could be something as simple as rewarding a handful of cards after every combat too, but yeah, we'll see. Allows you to reduce your inventory at any time to collect more, which could scale at an exponential rate. Yeah, the thing about the alchemy system, though, is that you don't always get the alchemical output that you want. And again, as Cody mentioned, you still need cards for resurrecting too. So cards are kind of like a currency where they're used as reagents for the alchemy system, but they're also used for the sacrifice so that you can resurrect. And so maintaining an inventory of cards, and of course you need to populate cards on your grid too, right? Because as the enemies get stronger, it's going to a lot of times be smarter to put more cards on your board than to alchemize them. Because remember, in the alchemy system, you only get one card as an output. So if you put 4 cards into the alchemy grid, you can only choose one output. And the output is not guaranteed to give you what you want. So there's an element of risk to it, but you're also paying a cost in the reduction of the amount of cards that you have. I agree that the alchemy system should be available anytime, since it's the hook, but I'm concerned that increasing the alchemy board size through the map nodes will lead to diminishing returns. Once the alchemy board has a certain size, you won't need any more space, since you seldomly alchemize more than a few cards. I agree with you, Wuius, but here's the thing that I think you're missing. Some cards in the game are very large, like the giant squid. The giant squid is a 2x3 card. So you actually can't alchemize the giant squid with anything until your alchemy board is big enough. And when your alchemy board is big enough, you're still only going to be able to alchemize the squid with like one other card. So the alchemy board size increase allows you to alchemize more cards or bigger cards, but not necessarily both. Does that make sense? What's the player's end goal for the game? Like, do you have a planned ending stage? Yeah, I mean, it's just going to be like a typical roguelike, you know, maybe I'm imagining it'll take like a half hour to 45 minutes to play, and the goal is just to beat the faction that's opposing you, basically. So I have some ideas for that, but not concretely planned yet. Anyway, so that's just what I'm thinking about. Again, I think it's something that I want to play test, because we'll see if there's any problems that arise from making the alchemy available all the time. But yeah, we'll see. All right, in anywho, node private clickable coordinator dot disable mouse input. Cool. Let's see what that does. I would be concerned about soft locking yourself from overusing the alchemy system and using up all your cards in between fights. Yeah, I mean, I think that would be something that the player has to manage, you know, like giving the players the tools to brick their build as well as make their build super overpowered. And you just have to kind of like, you know, it's like any strategy game, you know, in any strategy game, you can soft lock yourself. You know, if you're playing an RTS and you start destroying all your buildings, then, you know, you're probably not going to win. But like I said, it's something to play test. Maybe it won't be good for the game. It didn't like that, huh? Okay, well, I guess I won't have to be fancy then. Okay. It would allow for varied buffs for the alchemy system as well, like buffing, alchemizing certain card types. Yeah, that's true. That's true. But if I'm correct right now, a size increase to the board adds a whole column row every time. Don't know how you plan to let the player progress, but that doesn't the board size stay the same when you progress from one map boss to the next? The mayor isn't the end game, right? Yeah, that's true, yeah. But your ability to increase your alchemy board size is going to be limited by what nodes you visit on the map. So I can control that balancing a little bit. You know, it's also possible that I could make it only add, instead of adding a whole row, I can make it add only a couple of cells. That's not explicitly supported in the game yet, but that's been something that I've thought about. Now, why isn't this working? That's a good question. Probably because I need to assign the outline target. Probably will want some text as well. But I just want to see this work. There we go. Now they should also play the outline animations. Nice. Cool. I was saying as a player, I would be concerned, not as the dev. Oh, I see, I see. I see. Gotcha, gotcha. Hello, V. Welcome back. The menu, love it. Yeah, I'm getting there. It's a little bland right now, but we're going to get there. We're going to get there. Drink water, yeah. The art is very beautiful. Thank you, Ari. Or Ari. What is your creative process to come up with the overall style? Well, I just chose a palette that I liked. It's called Witching Hour from Low Spec. And as people who have been watching this stream series for a while now know, is a lot of it was just trial and error. A lot of it was drawing things, seeing what it looks like, and then I would draw something else in a slightly different way, and I would like the way that that looked, so then I'd go back and redo the art for the other one. And ultimately I settled on this pattern of like, generally all the environmental things, the map and whatnot, use 3 colors, this purple and the light purple and the red color for highlights. So that's used for like all the environmental effect and UI decorations and stuff. And then the rest of the colors in the palette are used for the cards themselves. And so that creates a very nice, I think, visual style. But I didn't sit down and say like, this is what I'm gonna do. That was kind of something that I just figured out as I was doing stuff for the game. I figured out what worked and what didn't. So I think calling it a creative process would be a little bit giving myself more credit than what really happened, which is just like, I drew something, was like, oh, that doesn't look right, and then try again. Okay, so that's looking good. Let's add some text now. I am going to add some text labels to this just to make this clearer. And what we'll do is we'll add this as a visibility toggle target. We'll duplicate this label, put it here. Oops, did I do this wrong? I did this wrong. In backpack battles, arranging the backpacks to make the item synergies work is one of the best aspects of the game. It could be beneficial to yours as well. Yeah, maybe. I think in backpack battles you can also rotate items, right? Which I'm not going to add for this game. I have no idea what this button is going to do. This could maybe be the meta progression button or something. But yeah, obviously I haven't thought about this very, very deeply. But I'm just interested in getting this to work. So node private clickable control start clickable control. Dot clicked plus equals on start clicked. Clickable coordinator dot disable mouse input. Await visual utilities dot fade out. Await fade out, and then we're gonna do what is this main here for? Oh, this doesn't do anything. I might restructure this a little bit. Well, maybe not. I don't, maybe that's not necessary. Private const string main scene UID. Get tree dot change scene to packed. No, to file. Can I put the UID in here? I wonder if that works. Let's see. I've been doing art for 15 years and that's pretty much how it still is. Oh, okay, good to know. Good to know. I gotta change this now. Project settings. We gotta change this to scenes UI. Main menu. And I'll add a debug option to skip the main menu. Okay. So that feels pretty good. Let's do a fade in here. Okay, that feels pretty smooth. It doesn't have to be anything super fancy for the purposes of the playtest, but okay, I would say that that works pretty good. So now let's do this. Project settings, debug. Skip menu. Because that's going to be very annoying if I have to go through the menu every time. Okay, and then in my main menu here, what I'll do is I'll say if game debug dot is skip menu enabled. Might as well just do that. So now what I can do, hopefully, is just turn this on, and when I press play, it'll just put me right in. There we go. So we just skip the menu if I don't want to do the menu. But I can go to the menu if I want. So that kind of freezes up the game a little bit. I don't know how to resolve that. I've never gotten any sort of like threaded loading to work in Godot. It might be something to investigate, but I suppose it's fine. So we got a basic main menu, add strategy and higher skill ceiling than only arranging the items cards. Yeah, but they don't have the alchemy system. And also it's a PvP game, which is a little bit different. What's that red outline? That is the reference rect. So a reference rect just creates that outline for you. It's a nice way of visualizing controls. Welcome, Denny FPS, by the way. Trial and error. Hello, Ali. Welcome, welcome. So now the question is, do I want to spend time getting some more of the menu drawn? Or do we want to do something else? Because I think the only thing I would really want to do for the menu here, I need to think about it more, but I want to add some trees, like a little grove here, just as a decoration. Maybe some foreground elements like these, like the tree branch sticking out here. Yeah, I don't really have any. I need to think about the menu more. So maybe we'll not do anything with the menu. So let's do this then. I'll put the main menu in here, something that I need to work on. I'm just going to delete this card. We do need a game over menu, a game victory menu. Reduce the duration of shield animation. Let's do that. Definitely something that I want to do. Where is this played? Yeah, I'm still awaiting the shield effect. Might just do this. Let's do this. Let's remove this awaits. Yeah, let's see if that makes the gameplay a little bit better. Actually, we don't need this anymore. Void. Void. Thank you. Let's see what that does. Just trying to smooth out the combat animations a little bit. How do scene scripts work of child scenes? I noticed my child scene script kind of not processing. How do scene scripts work of child scenes? I don't know why it would not be processing. I don't know. Can you elaborate a little bit? I'm sure I just missed it earlier in the streams, but what your task list app looks like Trello, but not quite. It's Obsidian with the Kanban community plugin. Welcome, Matt, by the way. Hello, Forgotten. Welcome back. Oops. Parent node is busy adding, removing children. Ah. There's one issue that I need to fix. Okay, so let's go ahead and just play it and see if that fixes some of the animations. Particularly the shielding and the heal as well. Good morning, Das K. Thank you, Snupbill, for the IDR 10,000. Very much appreciate that. Thank you, thank you. Always generous. And of course, with the message, Yummers. We're so glad that we still have the Yummers coming in. Thank you again, Snupbill, and welcome back. Yummers indeed. Everyone loves the Yummers. All right, let's see what this does. This should make it a lot smoother, yeah. So I'm basically just not waiting for any of the visual effects to play before continuing on. Nice. Okay. Feeling pretty good. Feeling less stuttery for sure. Cool. Go to the booster here. More relics. Gorgon head. Let's go to alchemy. What do I want to alchemize? Alchemize the Gorgon head with this and that. Ooh, nice. This is a very good ring. Going into more bigger combats. Oh, I'm taking damage though. Combat log is definitely going to be helpful. Although, am I going to get my butt kicked here? No, I think the necrosis is going to kick in and save me. Yep. Here comes the necrosis. Goodbye. So the thing about this game is that you can actually just do a purely defensive build if you want and just outlast everything. Just pretty cool if you ask me. Sell that. Should we do another alchemy? Let's do another alchemy. It would be nice to get a 1x1 card. Let's just go full in on the healing and stuff. Heal 6, deal 4 damage. Not bad. I don't have a whole lot of damage output though, but that's fine because I can just outlast everything. I'm liking this build actually. I'm liking it. Look at that, I'm basically topped off, so I just gotta outlast the enemy. Here comes the necrosis. Yummers, like when I'm in play mode. I'm sorry, News, but I don't understand your question. I'm sorry to say. Increase health by 25. Let's go. What's the logic behind the distinction between artifacts and cards? Incense and Alembic are cards, but Swarmlings are an artifact. Vampire Fangs are an artifact, but Giant's Finger is a card. An artifact is an item that provides a passive bonus to you. That's what an artifact is. A Swarmling, there's no like Swarmling, like I think you're talking about the Spiderlings. The Spiderlings are cards that are provided by an artifact, but they themselves are not artifacts. So you can think of an artifact as like, I don't know, what I think they're called relics in Slay the Spire, right? Or something. Or what are the items called in Risk of Rain? Basically those items that you get that just provide permanent, or not permanent, but provide bonuses for the duration of the run. Goodbye, slime. Oh, boss time. Let's go. Am I going to be able to survive this? Let's find out. Maybe, actually. Or maybe not. Oh, nope, I did not survive. Okay. I got blasted. Yeah, you'll get it, Neozoid. You'll get it. I got blasted. Wow, I'm getting blasted again. Oh, but 44 shielding, though? Nope. Got blasted again. Okay, guess I'm not going to win with this build. That's all right. But I'm liking those changes that I made, so the combat feels a little bit smoother. Probably still have a lot of work to do on the animations and stuff. Still working on the flow of combat in terms of like the visual representation. It's going to be kind of hard to figure out, I think. But that's done. Okay, maybe we can do another artifact. That would be fun. This is no longer a thing. Copy card of it. I don't want to do that. So let's see. What do we want to do? Probably just another artifact or a card or an enchant. Yeah, that's true. So even though the Vampire Fangs and Giant Finger are both monster parts, that doesn't make one an artifact and another card. It's just how you decided to make them. Right, yeah. Yeah, there's not like a thematic distinction between them, I guess. Maybe there should be. Sorry, I'm just trying to decide what to work on next. I think an artifact would be interesting. I'm thinking of an artifact that could leverage alchemy directly, like making cards that typically don't have damage. Well, doing something like having a relic, converting all relic card damage to healing would be an interesting one. I don't even know what that art would be though for that. Or we could do some player cards, some new cards, or some enemy cards too. Yeah, I'm kind of at the weird point where there's not like a whole lot that I can do on stream. I mean, I guess I could, but I have to draw the menu art. But that's going to take a long time. Don't have the energy for that at this moment. Yeah, maybe we'll just do another card. Let's see. Maybe an artifact that can be alchemized to increase a certain effect to be part of the alchemy result. Yeah, an artifact that increases the chance. Yeah. Hello, Zombie Biscuit. Welcome. I hate my job in wireless networking, but it's kind of giving me ideas for a game. Oh, really? Nice. Always a good thing when that happens. Yeah, an artifact that directly affects the alchemy. I might save that for... because I want to make, at the alchemy, be able to produce legendary results. Yeah, I gotta think about that stuff some more. Shoot. I'm not very prepared here, but let's just do this. Let's do one of these. Would be kind of fun to do a funeral pyre. Yeah, that would be fun. Maybe we'll do that. Or a frog. Let's do that one. Funeral pyre, because I still need more fire damage in the game for the player, so I think the funeral pyre will do that. So we'll do that. Open file. Oops. Assets. Card. Background. We'll make it a 2x2 probably. Yeah, 2x2 is probably fine. You could do both, one legendary and another focus on ability types. For example, a better chance to get healing as an alchemical result. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. That is definitely true. Okay, I'm going to take a quick 3-minute break, and when I come back, we're going to draw this funeral pyre. So in the meantime, check out the links in the description below for all the ways you can support me. Give me 3 minutes, I'll be right back, and we'll continue on. All right, I'm back. Thanks for your patience. Let me just do a quick check here. I'm just looking at funeral pyres. Okay, I think I generally know how I want to draw it, but we'll see. We will see how it works. Oh boy, here we go. Okay. Just getting the shape in place first. This might need to be more compact here. That'll work, I suppose. I keep doing that. Jeepers. Okay. Yeah, we'll see how it works. I don't know. Just gonna get the shapes in place and then try to figure out where to go from there. This might be too thick, but whatever. We'll try it out. Okay, and now... I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how this looks. Okay. I don't know how well this is going to turn out. Well, it seems okay. Will this be too noisy if I add just a couple of things in here? Well, I don't think it looks terrible. Let's focus maybe a little bit more now on this, which is supposed to be... Can't even really see that. It's supposed to be wood. So we'll see how to make it work. Okay. How did the dragon turn out? Did you decide the skeletal was out? No, I'll probably do a skeletal dragon at some point, but I think the dragon itself turned out pretty good. Is it not in here? Let me see if I can show you. There's a little wyvern hatchling. I think it turned out good. He's kind of cute. Anyway. Feel like maybe it needs horns. I don't know, do wyverns have horns? I mean, they're mythical creatures, so they can have whatever you want, I guess. Oops, I drew all that on the flames. That's a little bit unfortunate, but I can fix that. How do we feel about this? This fireplace is well fire, yeah. Sometimes, yes. What? We hate cute here, yeah. Hello, Fat Kid Games. I think the funeral pyre is decent. I don't know. Any suggestions? That's kind of hard to draw fire, generally speaking, especially with a limited palette like I'm working with, but I think it probably looks all right. Maybe I could add a little bit of... Yeah, that probably looks good. Maybe I should do some, like, embers or something flying out. Wonder if I could do... I think that looks all right. Horns are a design choice, but the number of limbs is not. Wyverns, as you noticed, have no front legs, only hind legs and wings with optional claws. Yeah. We love cute. Here, get out a fire pyre. My rat brain has been tickled. Yeah. Maybe add a couple of stray orange pixels. Yep. Yeah, I think that's, I think we're good. Development of Alchemortis is slow and steady like a tortoise. Yeah. Every time someone says anything with V in it, it gets highlighted like it's mentioning me. Might change my username again. Oh, that's unfortunate. Wonder why it does that. A Chiropteran wyvern. Oh, interesting. Silk Song announcement in 48 hours. It's canceled. There's your announcement. I actually didn't, maybe I shouldn't say this. I did not enjoy Hollow Knight that much. It was good, but for some reason it didn't grab me. Like I didn't ever feel motivated to beat it. Ah, am I working on the wrong layer again? No. Same here. Honestly, if it was canceled, I wouldn't be surprised. Has it been in development for like 8 years now? I mean, I've just pulled a number out of thin air, but it feels like I've been hearing about Silk Song for like the majority of my adult life. Actually, is 8 years even the majority of my adult life? I don't think so. Is it? No, yeah, it is. Okay, we can save this. Funeral pyre. Let's create a card for it. Resources, card, create new resource, card definition resource, funeral pyre. Oops. Turn cooldown 12. It's flippable, sure. This will be a ritual item. Cool. And then we can create the stuff for it. Add. We'll do the art separate from the rest of it. Okay. So now we need to find abilities that have fire damage and scale it. Where's my cat? Tag scaled damage. Do I have tag scaled fire? I don't. Let's do this. I'm gonna take this tag scaled damage and create a new composed ability. I'm gonna call it fire scaled fire, which sounds a little bit weird, but trust me. And we'll figure out what to do with this. I don't think it's been canceled, but I want to watch a documentary about what the heck happened during dev. Yeah. About 8 years-ish. Hollow Knight released in 2017. Gotcha. What will be the next Duke Nukem Forever after Silksong, I wonder? That's a good question. Low-key, you might want a full-scale fire for your menu background to light the scene. Maybe I could do that, yeah. Creative differences in the team. 8 years of complete silence. There should be a demo at Gamescom. Interesting. Do tweens free themselves once they are finished, or do you need to add a callback? No, they do free themselves, yeah. When a tween is finished, it will be, well, I don't know if it technically frees itself, but it will stop processing and become invalid, and it does get freed whenever the node it's bound to is freed. So if you use the create tween syntax that's available on all nodes, when that node is freed, it will free any tweens that are bound to it. So I think it's not technically correct that tweens free themselves when they're done. But I could be wrong about that. Duke Nukem Forever took 14 years and changed developer publisher multiple times. Not really a comparison. Just hope a long time results in better quality. Does Star Citizen count? Yeah. Once created, you can use one tween more than once, but you don't need a callback to end it. Okay, dynamic magnitude ability. This is going to be the fire ability. We're going to get rid of this tag filter here. Okay. Query count provider. Set multiplier, original base magnitude. Yeah. Fire ability. Okay. Applies. Value scalar get multiplier per. So applies fire per card that applies fire. That'll work. I think. I don't know. We'll see if it works. Okay. Test player cards. Let's do the Wyvern Hatchling. Let's add a Salamander, and let's also add the Funeral Pyre. Let's see. Let's see what happens. Applies 5 fire per card that applies fire. So that works. And it's highlighting those appropriately, so that's good. I don't have a big enough board to actually test it. The Funeral Pyre doesn't look bad in game, though. I think it looks fine. Not my most fantastic art of all time, but it's certainly workable. Let's see what this does if I upgrade it. 7 fire. Cool. Let's go to Alchemy. Oh shoot, I'm not even going to be able to use this. We could put these guys on here at least. $16 fire damage coming right up. I actually want to check something. Yeah, okay, we're good. Just wanted to make sure I was being consistent. Okay, there's another grow board over here, but that means I have to backtrack all the way over. That's not gonna work. Oh, there's an artifact idea. Incur no wanted level penalty when visiting cleared nodes. That would be a great one. That would really change how you can interact with the map. Anyway. What do you have in mind for your game's music? A dark sound font would be fitting. A dark sound font? A friend of mine is making a track which is Diablo-esque, like the Tristram Village music, you know what I mean? Sorry, I just realized something. Card. Buff container.has permanent turn disabling debuff. Okay. Anyway. There's a grow board there. Okay. Let's go collect this artifact. Getting a lot of artifacts this run. Go up here. Echo, yes. Echo on the funeral pyre. Let's do it. Bang. Grow this board. And now we're in business. Now we're in business, I think. If I could alchemize something, get some more fire here. Is there an alchemy nearby? There's one there. The marionette. Ooh, this applies fire. Oh no, that applies preserve. Never mind. All right, let's see what happens. I should probably put at least some other stuff in here. Lots of damage, look at that. Fire build activated. Nice. Alchemy. Now the goal here is let's take this and see if we can alchemize that with a 1x1 to get some extra fire. Dang it. Oh, here we go. So now that's going to buff the funeral pyre. So this is going to apply 14 fire and echo, so 28 fire at once. Nice. Let's do it. And the wyvern is still going to apply its fire. Oh my gosh. Goodbye. Oh, that's not going to be very useful, actually. Let's do some alchemy here. I don't want this. Let's get rid of that. Let's do that. And let's do that. All together now. Apply 6 prefer. Okay, well, that's fine. Let's see what happens. Is my fire build going to help me? I'm actually getting a lot of shielding because the fire is being applied so often. Am I going to win? I might win. Oh, maybe not. I'm taking a lot of damage. I'm taking heat. Oh! Okay. Close, but not quite. Dang it, what am I going to get rid of? I might get rid of this. Let's see if this works. We'll just speed through it, see what happens. Dang! I'm getting my butt whooped. Okay. Nope, I didn't win. Maybe the boss still needs some tweaking, but it's alright. The main thing was testing that the funeral pyre works. So let's add that. Add that. Funeral pyre ability. Cool. How fast or slow are your build times when using C#? It's only a couple of seconds usually. That's it. Title made me think the playtest is starting. Oh, sorry. Maybe I'll change the title. Let's change the title. Okay, the title has been changed. Sorry about that. What if the special announcement is the release? Sorry it took so long, but anyway, here's the game. Go play it. That would be nice. I think reverberating and echoing SFX would fit this game really well, making it feel like it's in the void. Yeah, that's true. Tristram OST is so goated. Yeah. Way to teleport tween certain nodes on the map would be cool, like to... Oh! That is a great idea. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we'll have to see how that works. Time for game dev once again. Is there a card with... welcome, Jackie, to Daytona. Is there a card with the ability to prematurely activate any built-up fire? There is not, though that is a great idea. Trigger. That would pair really well. Would it pair really well? I think it would pair really well with an artifact that increases like how long fire. So maybe this could say increase fire applied, but increase time to trigger. So you could have an artifact that increases your fire applied, but increases the time that it takes to trigger the fire. But then you could have an ability that could trigger the fire stacks immediately. So those two things could work really well together. That cow got grilled, or ox, it's all the same. It's all the same. Yeah, that's true, Jackie Daytona. Get wrecked. Yeah, I'm was the shielding preventing the fire debuff? That's interesting. Yes, so shield in this game, it prevents you from taking fire damage, and it prevents you from taking physical damage. So that was my way of differentiating, like, because I didn't want fire and poison to be too similar. So poison bypasses your shield and decays over time. Fire builds up to a certain amount and then it all explodes at once, but can be blocked by shielding. Your game feels so good now. I think experience for game dev take your way. Thank you, Kelso. I appreciate that. Send you an email. Cheers, gotta go. Thank you, Monkey Software, and hope to see you tomorrow. I didn't start this project with GDScript. I mentioned that I may make my next project in GDScript, but decided to stick with C#. Prematurely activate built-up fire, maybe bellows, the things smiths use to heat up their oven. Yeah, that's a good idea. Although that would fit more as like a villager faction card, but maybe it could work as either. Yeah, I'd have to think about that. Could be cool with something that makes it so triggered fire leaves a small amount of stacks after triggering. Ooh, that's a good one too. Dang. Should that be an artifact? Yeah, that would probably have to be an artifact. Has revealing a node been suggested? No, it has not, but that could be an event. So an event is basically any node that's on the map. So that's the terminology. So events are the things on the map that you actually interact with. So combat is an event, alchemy is an event, all that stuff. Artifacts are the passive items that you get that just permanently change your run in some way, give you like a passive ability. And then the cards are the things that execute the turn-by-turn abilities. Yeah. Oh, yeah, gotcha. I'm not going to be adding any new event types for the playtest because those are quite involved because I need to draw a bunch of art for them and it would change how the game is playing, so I don't want to do that yet, but definitely more event types that I want to do. Oh, there's so much work to do. There's so much work to do. Anyway, the funeral pyre is done. I think we have time to do an artifact. I want to increase the pool of available artifacts, so let's do that. About different damage types, I wonder how you're handling them. Are you using like a different health component? Base components? No, it's... Well, if you want to elaborate, Raul, I guess I can explain it a little bit more. Basically, the way that the damage types work is that they're just different debuffs. So if I go to my card buff, so I have like a debuff system, or no, not debuffs, status. I have a status system. So there's a status component. So whenever I want to apply a status to a board, I do it through the status component. There's the poison status, shield status, fire status, necrosis status. And those are all managed by the status component in terms of their lifetime, ticking them, all that stuff. But when the damage actually gets done, all damage is fundamentally the same in the game. If you take 20 fire damage, 20 damage gets done to your health. If you take 20 physical damage, 20 damage gets done to your health. But the way that those are presented visually differently is inside of this damage ability on my combat component here. There's a damage context, and the damage context contains data about what the damage type is. So based on that damage type, it will determine what needs to happen in here. So like, for example, damage poison. What this does is this does the direct damage to the health component, but then it will create a damage float with the poison icon. So it's basically just passing down a bunch of context. There is some difference in behavior. So like the damage type physical will hit the shield first. So it damages the shield here first. And then the remaining damage after the shield has been hit will be passed along to damage physical here. And then I have other methods in here for tracking the damage in terms of the history. So I have a turn history, which is used for some of the card abilities. Like I can look backwards in the history and see, you know, from X turn to Y turn, how much physical damage was dealt. And I can determine that because I'm tracking all the different damage types in my turn histories here. So anyway, that's just a brief rundown of how the system works. What inspired this game? It's looking really good, by the way. Well, I was inspired by the Bazaar and other auto battlers. I kind of wanted to just make an auto battler, especially after playing the Bazaar. And, you know, I've always been interested in, like, the necromancy themes. So I was like, oh, I can make a necromancy-themed auto battler. And then in terms of how I, like, figured out the mechanics and stuff, a lot of that was just, you know, for lack of a better word, it just kind of, like, came to me. Because so if you look at my games have a pattern. So, like, if you go all the way back to, like, Sword Slinger, which is a game that maybe not many of you know about, that game is all about programming a sequence of events to get a sword to kill a bunch of goblins. And so you can play with triggers, and you can play with like the initial launch angle and velocity, and you can chain all these different things together to make the sword like zoom around the map and kill a bunch of things, right? And then in Gunforged, you know, I've got the system of runes where you can like change how your bullets behave. I've always liked games and liked building games with those kinds of systems where like you just pile on a bunch of systems as a player and you can create all these weird emergent combos. And so I wanted to keep doing that for this game, and that's how I came up with the Alchemy system and the ability to merge cards together to gain the abilities of both. But yeah, that's basically it. It's not too super complex how I came up with it. Is Obsidian paid? No, it's free. It is free. How many cards are there already? Let's see. There are 58 cards if you count, well, 57. One is a God mode item. Oh, and one's a training dummy. So there are 56 cards that can appear in the game, roughly half of which are player cards, roughly half of which are enemy cards. So 56 cards. Dang, that's quite a lot, actually. But I would love for this game to have like multiple hundreds of cards by the time it releases. I think that something around 200 or 300 cards would be awesome. Because I think a game like this, like the reason, like it needs to have a lot of cards to be replayable. Otherwise, you're not going to really have that variety of builds, you know. Might be worth revisiting some artifacts from the runs I've watched. Basilisk Eye is definitely the most common grabbed artifact. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Yeah, it's basically an explosion. That's right, Eat, yeah. Invisibility cloak that decreases or straight up stops the amount of boss aggro. Can't remember what it's called for a certain amount of time or events. Yeah, I think I have something like that written down. Or maybe I don't. I still don't know what to call the wanted level. Yeah, that's true. Looks pretty complex. It looks complex, but it's not really, you know, if you just do things in the same order every time. I'm big on, like, you know, you want to pipe all of your data through the same systems, right? So anytime you do damage, you know, you should get like bright warning flashes that say all damage should flow through the same system, right? So that you're not dealing with a bunch of scattered logic everywhere. And so the scripts end up being a little bit beefier if you're trying to do everything through like one system, but it makes it a lot easier to understand because like anytime that damage is dealt, it's in here. There's no damage being dealt anywhere else. Anytime damage ultimately gets dealt to a board, it's coming through this function. This is the only place in the code that handles dealing damage to a board. And so it looks a little complex, but it's not nearly as complex as it would be if you were scattering this logic around the place. Project is going great. Thank you, Lep Official, for asking, and welcome to the stream. How about an artifact that activates if you do fire poison damage, turning the damage type into explosion damage? Will work the same as regular damage hitting at every other turn. Interesting, yeah. Also decreases health continuously like a status effect. Have you played around with obsidian bases at all? I have not, no. My obsidian vault is not useful enough to benefit from bases, I don't think. So let's figure out an artifact to do. Oh yeah, gain additional moves. I think that's what that was supposed to be, this gain additional moves, so I'll just remove this. What artifacts do I have currently? Okay, let's do this. I kind of want to do this one. I want to do this one where I give all X cards healing. Maybe not. Don't know what to call the wanted level either, but considering the theme, I think that the icon should be torches and pitchforks. That would be a good one. Boss alertness, notoriety is a good one. Yeah, I think notoriety probably fits. Or like, what would be the word for like infamous, right? Like, infame meter? I don't know. Anyway, let's see. So I want to do this one, which is going to give all alchemical cards a healing ability. So I want to do that, but I need to figure out what in the heck it's going to look like. So here's the idea. An artifact that gives all alchemical cards a heal ability. So any suggestions on like what the icon, what the artifact would actually look like would be much appreciated, because I'm going to need that information right now. So anyone who does not make a suggestion is going to get banned. So you all have 5 seconds to make a suggestion for what the icon should be, and I will start mass banning everyone who doesn't make one. All right, here we go. Oh, infamy, yeah. So my first problem in project using 2D demo from Godot docs. I have many calls in different places, and it was a nightmare to fix a bug. Yeah. Infamy. So would infamy work versus notoriety? Just a little necromancer trying to become infamous in a cruel world, yeah. All right, the mass bannings are going to start. I'm just kidding. I'm, of course, kidding. It would be very self-destructive to ban my audience. A pill bottle, interesting. I don't want to be banned. An eye. So something that turns alchemical items or alchemical cards into healing. Let's maybe do this. So I Googled alchemical healing device, and I don't think that there's really anything here. Alchemical reagent. A pill bottle might work, but mortar and pestle. I already have that icon for the alchemy. Rod of... Oh, yeah, I want to make that a card, so I'm not gonna... I mean, maybe I could make it... I mean, maybe that would be more appropriate as an artifact. I have snake oil, but I don't know what the icon would look like. If you're necro, I'm guessing blood or souls. A syringe, corrupted cross, angel wings. I give myself as tribute. Don't do too much healings. Yeah, vial or elixir or something. You can donate my suggestions to people in need. Okay. Mortar and pestle is good. Well, I already have that though. It's already an icon for the game. Yeah, I think that's what Yeet was talking about. Rod of... Yeah, it's the same thing as a caduceus. Well, we could try that. That might work better as an artifact rather than a card. So let's do that. I hope I have enough room. Okay. Oops, that's not right. That might work. Unfortunately, can't really see the rod part. So wonder if I cut this out and I move the head this way. What am I doing? The problem now is that it's too far up. It's okay, I can move it down. Oh no, I can't. That probably works all right. I feel like this is too thick though. That looks better almost, I think. Maybe? Kind of? That's looking all right. Whatever, I don't even care anymore. I'm just gonna merge these down. I'm tired of managing. Tired of digging holes, Grandpa. Okay, I think that's looking pretty good, actually. Caduceus is a symbol of commerce. The rod is medicine. 1 snack healing, 2 snack money. What? Who thought of that? That's dumb. We learn new things every day. Which Kanban plugin are you using? It's just called Kanban. It's in the community plugins section. Maybe I should make it a red snake. Because I want to make the rod greenish. Something like that. It looks like he has buck teeth if I do that. Maybe I'll just get rid of that. Oh shoot, did I do it wrong again? Uh-oh, I think I might have done it wrong again. It needs to have 2 pixels of padding after after the outline. Oops. I wonder if that's still true. How are we feeling about it? Red snake makes it seem more demented. I like it. A perverted version of some version of actual thing. Yeah, I think it looks like it looks good. Yeah, I agree with the teeth. I agree with the teeth. That's why the teeth are gone. So I may need to shrink this down a little bit, which would be okay. I think what I would do is just do this. Oh, that actually kind of looks better anyway. But I think I also need to do the same down here. So if I do that, okay, that creates the room that I need. Cool. We'll center the rod in the center of the texture, even though the snake is a little bit off balance now. What do you think? Good? Looks good. Chef's kiss. Thank you. What about some poison dripping? No, I think it's good. I think it's visually clean the way it is. I mean, it's a good suggestion, but I would run the risk of muddying up the design too much. The rod is a little small, but I guess you need the room. Yeah. I don't know how I could make the snake even smaller, but I think it kind of gets the point across. I think it's probably okay. Can always change it later if it's not looking 100%, you know? Cool. All right, let's create that artifact now. We got to do the oops. We got to do the behavior of it now. Alchemical heal, display name. What should we call it? The idea is legible. I like it. Should I just call it the Rod of Asclepius? I might as well. There's not really a more fitting name for it. Okay, now we gotta do the art. Or I mean, just paste the art in here, make unique. Edit region, grid snap. 24 by 24, put this in there. Cool. Okay, so now we gotta actually write the functionality, but for now, let me do this. Add art. New file, alchemical heal.cs. I don't need any of this. Actually, the one that I want is the minion. No. Iron Gauntlet. I probably just want to copy basically all this. simple heal. We can get rid of this. Alchemical heal. Create simple heal. Oh, I don't need this. I don't need this either. What did I call it? Rod of... Forgot how to spell it. Let's just copy this. Cool. Okay. Get base composed abilities for the base card. Let's do alchemical cards. Where has flag card tag alchemical? Actually wonder if where is this even being called? Oh, add range. Oh wait, no, I don't need to do this. I just need to say if base card definition resource dot has no dot card what? What are you doing, AI? I don't understand that. Okay, base card, if it doesn't have the flag alchemical, we're just going to return empty array. Otherwise, we're going to return simple heal. Maybe it would make more sense to do it this way. Okay, so that's basically it. I think that's basically it. That's the entire artifact. So my artifact system is such that this is the entire script for adding healing to alchemical cards. So now let's do this. Test player artifacts, add, we're gonna do alchemical heal. Let's see what works. An outside question, I'm solo dev making a game, but I'm using pre-made assets. Is it a bad idea? Or my game can become successful with pre-made assets? Using a mana seed assets, thanks. Yeah, I mean, it certainly can be done. There's all kinds of successful indie games that use assets. Yeah, so I don't think it's like your success is not really going to be a function of whether you're using assets or not. It's largely going to be a function of your execution. So like there's a bunch of like, especially 3D games where people bring in assets like animations and models. But what they'll typically do is they'll go in and retexture or slightly remodel things to fit the theme better. Like they'll do some work on the pre-made assets to make it fit with the game better. I think the place where using assets could get you into trouble is if you're doing something like a 2D game, because it can be very, very hard to find assets that fit with the 2D style that you're using. And you don't want to end up with a jumbled mess of different themes and different art styles. That's not going to look good. The reason that people have an easier time doing it in 3D is because aside from the texturing, a model is just it's a representation of an object in 3D space. So to make it look the same, you just need to have a similar polygon count, and then the texture just needs to be a similar style, and it fits, Looks good in the UI. Maybe the head is a little big. Yeah, it could be a little big, but I don't think I'm going to make any more tweaks to it right now. I think it looks okay, and it's working here too. So the Wyvern Hatchling is getting heal, and the Salamander is getting heal as well. So let's see what happens. The heal is working. The heal might be a little bit weak, but I'm thinking that if you deck out your board with alchemical cards, then that could be very powerful. Like if you've got 8 different alchemical cards on your grid, that's 16 healing, you know? Yeah, I think it works fine. I think it's okay. Cool. Cool. All right. Well, that's going to be it for the stream today. Thank you all for watching. Thank you for being here. My Steam page again is ready, or it's in the Valve approval process. So hopefully I'll be able to share that with you at some point soon. But if you want to support my work, what you can do is check out my Udemy courses. This is the cooperative online multiplayer course, which will teach you everything you need to know about building cooperative games over the internet in Godot. So check that out if you're interested. You can also purchase Gunforged. Every way you can support me is linked in the description below, so I appreciate it if you would check those out. And what else? What was the other thing I was going to say? Son of a bee. Oh, you can like the video, subscribe to the channel, watch my other videos. That helps a ton as well. And I want to also thank the lurkers and the VOD watchers out there. I know you're enjoying these videos, so thank you for being here. And I'll be back at it tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern. Okay. Bye-bye, everyone. Have a good day.